Today's video is all about a question that I've been asking myself over and over and over for the past few days, and I would really appreciate your input. As many of you know, Disney has officially announced the time periods of the Star Wars Galaxies Edge opening at Walt Disney World and at Disneyland in California. Disneyland gets their Star Wars Galaxies Edge in summer of 2019, and Walt Disney World gets their Star Wars Galaxies Edge in late fall of 2019. Now, I can basically confirm it right now that I will be going to the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Walt Disney World. I have been so excited for this new land ever since we started to hear the very first rumors about it, even before it was confirmed. My excitement level for a Star Wars themed land was off the charts. Disney is best known for its ability to take us away from the real world and bring us to a place of imagination and where dreams come true, and I have been a fan of the Star Wars series since I was a very little kid, so I cannot wait to fully immerse myself in the story. I can't wait to fly the Millennium Falcon, interact with some droids, maybe put on a costume and go to a resort that allows me to blast off to a new place. There are so many things I cannot wait to experience at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So now that Disney has confirmed the general timetable of when Star Wars Galaxy's Edge will open at both theme parks, and the fact that we now know that they're a few months apart, it has given me another idea, and you're probably already catching on to where I'm going with this. Instead of just going to the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Walt Disney World, why don't I go to both of the openings? I've been thinking about it for a little while now. I really want to get back to Disneyland and see the Indiana Jones ride again, some great shows and the parades. I cannot wait, and the fireworks show, loved it all. But what about the rides and shows that I have never seen before that are relatively new? I haven't seen Mission Breakout, which took over the Tower of Terror. A little bit sad about that, but I really do want to see Mission Breakout, and I've avoided all of the spoiler videos, so I haven't seen it myself. I want to go for the first time and experience it. I heard it's amazing. And what great timing! By the time Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens, Pixar Pier will be open in California Adventure, and then I can go and experience that as well. This could be the perfect opportunity to see a lot of new things in California and experience Disneyland again. I've been wanting to go back, but before you get too excited about a possible Disneyland trip in the future, I could really use your help on a specific question. One of the biggest differences for me when I visit Walt Disney World versus Disneyland in California are the cost, the flight costs, the resorts, and the annual pass. You remember, I'm an annual pass holder for Walt Disney World, not for Disneyland. I do not have that passport. Maybe one day I will, but those are some factors that I consider, but I also consider another big factor, the crowds. You know me pretty well. I love going to Disney parks with relatively low crowds. It kind of feels like you have the park to yourself a little bit. You can take those wide-angle pictures, which are a lot of fun, but at the same time, I really do enjoy the opening event for a new ride, a new show, or a new land. Time is now 6:22, 2 minutes after they let us in early. Look at the line behind me for Pandora. This is in front of me. Really, a lot of people here for opening day. The question that I keep asking myself over and over again, Michael, which would you prefer? To be there a few months later after opening has happened and be able to experience all the magic? The crowds are far, far lower than they would have been. Maybe you can go while school is in session. You can think about all of these things, get those wide-angle pictures. Or would you rather go for the opening day, get all this merchandise, be there with the opening crowds, and you can say from that point forward, I was there on opening day for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge for not one park, but two. You can tell I'm trying to talk myself into it. The thought is, I love the opening of Pandora so much. I absolutely loved it, and I can always say, I was there for the opening day of Pandora World of Avatar, and it was amazing. And then I can go and visit Pandora World of Avatar after that. So I'm trying to convince myself to go. So it's not a question of if I want to go to the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland. I do want to go. I think it would be an amazing experience. I would have an incredible time, and I would always be able to say, I was there on opening day. But the question I have for you today doesn't have to do with the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at either parks. It has to do with things that I might be missing if I do go to the opening of both of them. The question I have for you today is the most life-changing Create the Adventure with Michael vote that I have ever created before. If you had to choose between the following, and keep in mind this really has to do with timing, so I'm not so sure how it's going to work out, but I wanted to get your thoughts about this. If you had to choose between me going to the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival in 2019 or another Disney cruise, perhaps on a ship that I have never been on before, or the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland. I'm not talking about the opening in Disney World, the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland. Take your time, think it through. Once you have, Vote right there. I would love to hear from you. Now, for those who have been a part of the magic with me for a little while, you may know that my brother is living in California, and you might be thinking, Michael, this would be the perfect opportunity for another brother trip where you can go together to the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. He's only a few hours away. If I do decide to go to the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland, I will definitely ask him, but don't hold your breath for that because he feels the same way I do about crowds, maybe even a little bit more uncomfortable with the crowds, so he may just want to sit back and do something else while everyone is crowding into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Now, if the timing is just right, maybe I'll be able to slip in the Flower and Garden Festival before the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. There are a lot of factors to that, so I can't promise that right now, so I only have those three choices at the time of filming, but you never know what the future holds. I really do appreciate your thoughts, though, in the poll. Now, one thought a friend of mine brought to my attention, Michael, you can go to the Flower and Garden Festival anytime, and I do understand that, but when I missed it this year, 2018, to go on that Disney cruise, I felt so bad. I was like, I want to go back to the Flower and Garden Festival. It is one of my all-time favorites at Epcot, and I miss it. This is a very big decision, and I really appreciate your vote in the poll, and if you have any other thoughts, let me know in the comments below about what you'd like to see in the future of the vlogs. Thank you so much for being a part of the magic with me. Until next time, have a magical day.